On December 10th, 2025, Michigan football did something it almost never does. It hit the emergency brake. In a short statement, the University of Michigan said head coach Sherrone Moore was being terminated for cause, effective immediately, because investigators found credible evidence he'd violated university policy by engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. In college football, for cause isn't just a firing, it's a detonation. It's the school saying we're not paying the buyout and we're willing to fight about it. But here's the strange part. Within hours, this wasn't only a workplace scandal anymore. Police took Moore into custody that same day. 2 days later, prosecutors charged him with felony third-degree home invasion and misdemeanor stalking and breaking and entering illegal entry-related offenses, tied to an alleged incident involving a woman described in court reporting as someone Moore had a prior dating relationship with. So how does a coach who helped win a national title end up here? The answer isn't one thing. It's a chain: pressure, power, investigations. And then, if the allegations hold, a personal crisis that collided with the job at the worst possible moment. Moore's value at Michigan wasn't built on flash. It was built on structure. As an assistant, he became known for building the kind of offense Michigan fans love: physical, organized, and angry at the line of scrimmage. And in 2023, he got an unexpected spotlight. With head coach Jim Harbaugh serving suspensions, Moore stepped in as acting head coach for key games, and Michigan kept winning, including a road win at Penn State that became part of his legend inside the program. ESPN described him as the play caller on Michigan's national title team, and by the time Harbaugh left for the NFL after the championship run, Moore looked like the cleanest continuity play possible. In January 2024, Michigan handed him the keys. Except Michigan wasn't just inheriting trophies, it was inheriting investigations. The shadow hanging over Ann Arbor. Michigan's recent dominance came with a giant cloud. The sign-stealing scandal centered on staffer Connor Stalions. The NCAA described an impermissible scouting scheme that ballooned into one of the biggest controversies in years. Now here's the detail that matters for Moore's story. The NCAA said that after media reports about the scheme broke on October 19, 2023, Moore deleted his entire 52-message text thread with Stalions from his personal phone. Michigan later said the messages were recovered and provided to investigators, but the deletion itself became part of the enforcement case. In the NCAA's world, it's not just what happened on the field, it's did you preserve evidence, cooperate, and tell the truth? By 2025, penalties tied to the sign-stealing case included a 3-game suspension for Moore, with parts stemming from Michigan's own self-imposed discipline. PBS +1. So when Moore became the face of the program, he was also, officially, connected to the biggest scandal surrounding it. By 2025, Michigan finished 9-3. Good, but not immortal. And the pressure at a place like Michigan isn't just to win, it's to win clean, loudly, and with no weird surprises, because the program is under a microscope from the NCAA, the media, boosters, and rival fan bases. The head coach isn't only a play caller, he's a CEO, a recruiter, a crisis manager, and the most visible symbol of the brand. He's also managing a workplace full of power differentials, where a bad personal decision can become a university-level legal problem fast. Universities have strict policies about romantic relationships in a workplace, especially with subordinates, because consent, fairness, and liability get complicated immediately. And in December 2025, Michigan decided Moore's conduct crossed that line. On Wednesday, December 10th, Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel announced Moore had been terminated with cause. The university said its investigation found credible evidence Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, violating university policy, and that Michigan maintained zero tolerance for it. This wasn't vague language about moving in a different direction. It was the university planting a flag. We can prove this, and we're willing to treat it as a major breach. And the money angle matters here, too. AP reported Moore signed a 5-year contract with a base salary of $5.5 million per year, and that being fired for cause means Michigan says it won't owe the remaining buyout. Then, almost immediately, the story swerved into something darker. That same day, police took Moore into custody in the Ann Arbor area. On December 12th, prosecutors announced charges: felony, third-degree home invasion, plus misdemeanor stalking and misdemeanor breaking and entering illegal entry-related charges. According to court reporting, prosecutors allege the incident involved a woman with whom Moore had a prior dating relationship and that he unlawfully entered her home. AP and other outlets reported prosecutors described threatening behavior involving kitchen knives or scissors, and Moore allegedly making alarming statements. Important note: these are allegations, and Moore has not been convicted. At arraignment, a judge set conditions including a $25,000 bond, GPS monitoring, a no-contact order, and continued mental health treatment. AP also reported restrictions like staying in Michigan and abstaining from alcohol and illegal drugs. Even in a sport that thrives on chaos, this is extreme. Coaches get fired for losing seasons. They get fired for NCAA violations. But a for-cause firing, followed by felony charges in the same week, that lands far outside sports. Zoom out, and you can see why this hit so hard. Michigan football has spent years in a cycle of investigations and headlines, creating an environment where another problem can start to feel almost normal until it isn't. That's a dangerous dynamic. When scandal becomes background noise, institutions can drift into survival mode, protect the brand, manage the timing, keep the recruiting class together, hope the next headline is smaller. But when the next headline involves policy violations and a criminal case, there's no clean way to spin it. The story becomes about trust, inside the program, inside the university, and inside the fan base that was told this era was about restoring Michigan's tradition. As of December 12, 2025, Moore has been charged, not convicted. The legal process will decide what's true, what's provable, and what's punishable. But Michigan already made its institutional decision: terminate immediately for cause. On the football side, Michigan named Biff Poggi as interim head coach for the upcoming bowl game. On the roster side, moments like this can trigger a chain reaction: transfers, flipped recruits, donors who suddenly want answers, especially with signing periods and portal windows colliding with the coaching carousel. And for the rest of college football, the story is a reminder of something the sport hates admitting. In a system built on power and pressure, success can cover cracks, right up until it can't. Because the fall of Sherrone Moore isn't just about play calling, it's about what happens when reputation, investigation, and personal choices collide, and the collision happens in public.